Hi everyone. I hope you had a good weekend. I just have a quick video for you for this week. This week, I've had a number of people asking for some specific to talk about some specific genres of music, and I've had a number of people who've asked more for some more music from the Caribbean and Latin America. And so this week, I'm kind of centering on the Caribbean and particularly thinking about the genre of reggaeton and reggae. Reggaeton is a sort of a combination of reggae with various elements of hip hop and other popular music genres. And so I've given you a couple of links here that I want you to sort of play around with. The first one that says Fish Market Lawsuit. This is a blog from, about a year and a half ago, and I don't know how this lawsuit has been resolved. Maybe one of you wants to find out. But it centers on a rhythmic idea that I believe it was in the early 90s, that became the basis of a lot of reggaeton music, sort of as an underlying rhythmic beat, sort of groove, that was adapted into a lot of different reggaeton uh, music. And this lawsuit was brought by the creator of theoretically supposedly the original recording of that beat. And so there's just a sort of a short article sort of talking a little bit about that lawsuit. Again, the article's from like a year and a half ago. I'm not sure if the lawsuit is resolved yet or how it got resolved, but that might be an interesting little side research project for someone if they want to take that on. The two links that are below that. So I'm just giving you that article just as like a way of getting into some of this music. And then I've given you links to both the Fish Market. The rhythm is the first link under the Fish Market lawsuit, and then Dembo is the song that's sort of at the center of some of that discussion. So then the fourth link is a documentary. I think it's about 45 minutes long that I'd like you to watch. It's by a documentarian in Jamaica, talking about the dance hall musical culture, which is sort of where reggaeton sort of emerges from among some other influences. So I'd like you to take a look at that documentary after listening to those previous clips. And then in the forum, I've asked a sort of a big general question. In the documentary, they really get into like some pretty major discussions about sort of geopolitical and micro political things. And so in the forum, I'm asking you to think about, why do these types of cultural practices so often become the locus or the sort of the center of these big picture debates about politics or gender or religion? What is it about a genre like dance hall music or like reggaeton? What is it about that type of cultural um, activity, which is mainly about, typically we think of it as mainly about entertainment? Why does that become the center of these big sort of political discussions? So that's in the forum. So I'd like you to participate in that. And then I want you to be really focused on working on the final project, like I've been saying a lot in the last couple of weeks. I've had some people asking about grading in this class, and here's the deal. The final project is a big deal for the grade in this class, and so I want you to be working on that. And if you've been participating in the forums, if you've gone to an event and you've written your event report and you turn that in by the end of the semester, and you've been keeping up with your music journal, you're going to be fine in this class, as long as you are, working on that final project. Next week, I'm thinking that because it's a short week because of Thanksgiving, I'm thinking that I might have part of it to sort of share ideas, maybe in a forum about your final project, so that maybe we can have a little bit of a discussion. It can be hard for me in a class like this online, where I'm not actually seeing you, to get a sense of sort of how things are progressing. So I'm going to see if there's a way next week that we can maybe generate some conversation about the final project. Because then when we get back from Thanksgiving, we just have a couple of weeks and it's going to go by really, really quickly. So just keep up with the forums, be working on that final project, and everything should work out great. Okay, so have a good week, and I will check in again later on. All right, thanks.